Hello, hello, hello. I am the Linux Mensch. Today, I'm going to talk about web browsers, specifically Firefox versus Librewolf. Now, if you don't know what Librewolf is, it's a fork of Firefox. Actually, it's a hardened fork of Firefox. So today, I'm going to talk about both of them and the pros and cons of each one, what I like and don't like about each one, and which one I daily drive. So, let's get to it. So right now, this is my bare metal computer, the one I do all my recording in. And it's Arch Linux with the i3 window manager. So I'm going to open up Firefox. I have it open here. And right now we're at the Firefox web page. And you can go here. And when you're on the web page, you could go to this one here, Firefox browsers, and click on this menu. And you can go to release notes and scan down. And you can see we are on release 132.0. It was released October 29th, 2024, which was yesterday. Because today is, as you can see up here, Wednesday, October 30th. So it's released yesterday. And they tell you right here, October 29th. Okay? And there's a lot you can read on here. And sometimes when Firefox releases a new release, sometimes there's new features on it, and sometimes it's just security patches. So here it's going to tell you what's new in Firefox, this 132 version, and it's going to tell you what the new features are. Here's what's changed, and it's going to tell you what the security fixes are. I'm going to click that on. So the previous version had a high impact security vulnerability. Actually had a couple, right? Permission leak via embedded object or elements. And you can read about these, and there's a couple of them here. There's another high one, and then there's some moderate ones, right? So this one here, let's click it on and see what happens. A permission leak could have occurred from a trusted site to an untrusted site via embedded or object elements. And this one here, the second one that's high, and I should make that a little larger, right? The second one, which is a high impact, an attacker could have caused a use after free when accessibility was enabled, leading to a potentially exploitable crash. Anyways, the point is that there's some security vulnerabilities and some moderate vulnerabilities and patches. And Firefox usually comes out with a new release every 2 weeks, sometimes once a week. And like I said, sometimes there's new features in it, and sometimes it's just security bugs or security fixes or patches, right? And now we have the Librewolf website. This is the Librewolf website. It's kind of nice because it's dark. And all Librewolf is it's a hardened fork of Firefox. They take Firefox, they take out a lot of the bloat and a lot of the fancy features, and they harden. All the settings are hardened. Now you can do everything with Firefox that you can do with Librewolf, only Librewolf comes already hardened for you and without the bloat. So these are the websites, and you can go here and you can read about Librewolf, what it's about. What is Librewolf? It tells you. Oh, yes. And Librewolf comes automatically with an ad blocker already installed, whereas Firefox doesn't. And no telemetry, and all the security features are turned on to be strict or to protect you. Okay. And you can read about it here. And I just thought I'd go to the websites and take a look at them. Firefox comes installed by default in most Linux distributions, not all, but in most of them. And Librewolf is not available in all distributions. It's available in some. In Arch Linux, if you want it, you have to get it from the Arch user repository, the AUR. So now I'm going to go to a virtual machine. So now I'm in a virtual machine of Arch Linux with the i3 window manager. And right now I have no web browsers installed. So what I'm going to do is install Firefox. So I'm going to open up a terminal, and I'm going to do sudo pacman s Firefox. Put my password in and let's install it. Only takes, oh, it's done. That's fast. Didn't even have to pause it, right? So let's close the terminal. Let's refresh i3. Let's open up Firefox. So first time you open it, it takes a moment. So this is Firefox. Most of you probably already know this. This is what happens when you open it. There's a lot of bloat. There's a lot of welcome menus you gotta have to go through to get to the main page. I can't stand all this stuff. Let's skip setup step. Come on, let's start browsing. Okay, so now we have all this bloat, all this garbage. Okay, and it doesn't come with the ad block installed. So you can either install it from the extensions in the settings, or if you're in Arch Linux, you can install the ad blocker from the official Arch repository. Or if you're in another Linux distribution, you can either install the ad blocker from their repository if it's there, or you can just go into extensions and install it. So normally when I install Firefox on a new system, this is what I do. I get rid of this tab. I don't like it. So I remove it from the bar. Well, you can take this temperature thing out, or you can leave it. This is a relatively new thing. So I change it to Celsius. I leave it in. I like to have it there. Then I open up here, and I like the menu bar to be on top. Bookmarks I always show. So then I click on this menu here, and I go down to Settings. Click it on, and I go to Home, and I scan down here, and I take all this garbage off. Well, I leave web search, and now I leave the weather, but I take off shortcuts, recommended sites, and what else do I do? Then I go to search, and I change this Google to DuckDuckGo, and then I go to privacy and security, and I change standard to strict. And I don't put it to custom because I don't use custom because, well, number one, I don't know how to use it. But also, if you make things too strict, some websites might not work. So I always just change it from standard to strict. And I go down. Firefox data collection and use. I always turn this off. I went down too far here. Enable HTTPS only mode in all windows. I click that on. What else do I do? I go to extensions and themes. And I go to themes. I go down here and enable dark mode. And then in extensions, if you don't now normally I download uBlock Origin from the official Arch Linux repository. And if you ever used my Arch Linux post install script, uBlock Origin is in there, and so is Firefox, of course. But if you don't want to get it from there, or if you're using Firefox in a Linux distribution that doesn't have uBlock Origin in their official repository, you could just go here and download it, manage your extensions. Oops, sorry. Go here to find an extension, type in uBlock and hit enter. And it takes you here. You could click on this and you could install it from here. Add to Firefox and install it from here. But normally I just go into the terminal and do it. So let's open up a terminal and let's make that full screen. Let's just type in sudo pacman s Firefox -uBlock Origin. Let's install it. Put my password in and we're installing it. Okay. Now let's just go back to extensions. Let's close Firefox and see if it opens with it. Firefox, and I don't see it on. Go to extensions. There it is. Let's just toggle it off and on. There it is. It's on. Okay, so it's working. Now, normally what I do is I always like to have a home button. So I'm going to customize the toolbar. And I don't know why the home button is not there by default. And now I'm just going to close Firefox again and open it. And I'm going to get rid of this bookmarks thing. I don't like that there either. We're going to click on, oops, Remove from toolbar. Okay, so that's how and now you can see the ad block is working, and that's how I change my Firefox for every system that I use. Now, it's a bit of a hassle, and I don't like the fact that it comes with all that bloat and stuff on your main page that I like to turn off, and I don't like the fact that it comes not hardened. And if you want to harden it, you got to go into the settings and change everything. Now, I'm going to take a look at Librewolf, the hardened fork of Firefox. So let's close this. Now, I have an install script for installing Librewolf, or for downloading it anyways. So because it's coming from the AUR, the Arch User Repository, I'm going to open up a terminal. And first of all, I changed the script. So I have to update my Mensch directory in this virtual machine. So if you do an ls, you see I have a Mensch folder here. That's the Mensch folder from my GitLab repository. So I'm going to cd into it. I'm going to clear the screen. Now I'm going to do a git pull because I have to update it because I changed something in my repository concerning Librewolf. I'm going to do git pull. Oh, I changed a lot more stuff than that. So whenever I make a virtual machine, I always download my GitLab repository. And I didn't realize that since I made this virtual machine and downloaded my GitLab repository and used it, I made a lot of changes. So, in the past month, I cleaned up my GitLab repository. I updated files. I checked to make sure things were working. And I made a lot of changes in it. And I didn't realize that my GitLab folder in this virtual machine was old. So it updated it. Okay, so that's what it looks like. And if it's already up to date, when you do a git pull, it's just going to say already up to date. So let's clear the screen. And I'm going to do a cd out of there for a sec. Now, when I'm installing a program from the AUR, I like to make a folder called AUR. I'm going to do make dir, make dir, AUR. Okay. Now I'm going to clear the screen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cd into my Mensch folder, cd into my Arch folder, and I'm going to copy this file and this GPG Librewolf file into my home directory and my AUR folder. Okay, so I'm going to do copy Librewolf and GPG key Librewolf into tilde slash AUR. Okay, just like that. Now I'm going to cd out of there. Whoops, my caps are on. Okay, let's clear the screen. Let's cd out of there. Let's clear the screen. Let's cd into AUR folder. And you can see I have those two files in there. Now I'm going to do this. I'm going to run the script. I'm going to run the Librewolf script first. Librewolf. And there, it cloned it. Now I'm going to run the GPG key. I'm going to do GPG. I'm going to run that script. And it's telling me to put a number in. So it's telling me to put 1 in. I'm going to put a 1 in. Let's type in 1, hit enter, and that's done. Now I'm going to ls it. Oops. Now I'm going to cd into Librewolf bin. I'm going to ls it. And I'm going to take a look at the package build. So I'm going to do less package build, pkg build. And I'm just going to take a look at this and make sure everything looks good. Make sure there's nothing funny in here. I know I'm going kind of fast, right? So we want to see this one is important. We want to see it's coming from the HTTPS Librewolf community GitLab IO, okay? And you just want to check out this stuff. You want to check out this line too. It's important. Okay, but anyways, everything looks good. So I'm going to install it. So we're going to get out of there and I'm going to do make pkg-sic. And we're going to make the package. And it's just going to take a moment. Won't take too long. I'm going to pause the video for a sec. Okay. Okay, so it only took maybe 30 seconds to a minute at the most. Now I'm going to put my password in. So I'm going to put my password in. I'm going to hit enter. And it's done. Now I'm going to close the screen. I'm going to refresh. And I'm going to hit open up the menu. I'm going to type in Librewolf. There it is there, Librewolf. Let's hit enter. And let's see if it opens. And of course, the first time you open a package after a reboot or when you first install it, it's, it takes a few more seconds to open it. And there it is. So number one, we don't have all that bloat and all that stuff on the front window that we have to get rid of. You can see uBlock Origin is already installed and up and running. The only thing I would get rid of, and it doesn't have all that other stuff there I want to get rid of. So the only thing I would do is get rid of this import bookmarks. I don't like that. And I would add the home. I don't know why they don't have the home button. I love the home button. And let's just close it. And let's open it again, Librewolf. And let's get rid of that. And that's it. It's already set on dark. I don't have to change anything. Doesn't have all that bloat. And all the settings are hardened. So let's go to the settings just so you can see. And let's go home. So on the home page, they have all the stuff that I turned off by default. Let's go to search. They already have DuckDuckGo in automatically in search rather than Google. And let's scan down, let's see what else they have. Okay, and then privacy and security. They have enhanced tracking protection on by default. Okay, and actually they took the other options, the general option, they took out. The option that comes turned on by default when you install Firefox, that's not even there. They actually took it right out. I like that. So they got the security on by default. And they have the HTTPS only mode turned on by default. And they also have Librewolf preferences with hardening. Okay. And if you go to extensions and themes, you can see uBlock Origin is installed and turned on, which I already mentioned already. And in the themes, well, we could just enable the dark theme. So let's go home. And let's close the settings. So the thing I like about Librewolf, I love about Librewolf, is that when I install it, I don't have to do anything, except I get rid of that bookmark icon, put the home button here, and get rid of that other icon, and that's it. Everything's done. When I install Firefox, I got to de-bloat it and harden it. Oh, yes, and there's one more thing I do here, and I always put the menu bar in. Let's go to Help. Let's see about Librewolf. And it's on 131.031. So it's on the previous version of Firefox. And let's close that and let's open up Firefox. Let's go to Help, About Firefox. And Firefox is on 132, the version that was released yesterday. Now, what I want to do is, let's go to archlinux.org. And what I'm going to do is, let's just bookmark it. Okay. And let's type in Firefox. And let's open it up. And you can see, just let me make this larger. Whoop, maybe that's too large, eh? So you can see Arch Linux put Firefox in 132 on October 9th, the same day that it was released by Firefox. And if we open it up and go down, we can see that it was installed at, well, UTC is 2:15 in the afternoon, UTC time, which would be 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time because I'm in Toronto. So Eastern Standard Time is right now it's 4 hours behind UTC. Next week when we change the time, Eastern Standard Time is going to be 5 hours behind UTC. UTC stands for Universal Time. So next week we'll be 5 hours behind, but right now we're 4 hours behind. So Firefox 132 was released on October 29th by Firefox, and Arch Linux released it same day, October 29th, at 10:15 in the morning. That's pretty fast. Now, if we go to, let's go back home. Let's go to the AUR. Let's type in Librewolf. And this is the one that I installed, Librewolf bin. And let's make it a little larger. And let's bring it down here. And here it is here. Let's click it on. Let's bring it down. So Librewolf is still on the previous version of Firefox. And it's from October 19th. Okay. So let's close this. And that's it. In this video, I talked about Firefox and Librewolf. And I showed you how to install Firefox and how to install uBlock Origin. And I showed you how to install Librewolf from the AUR, the Arch user repository. And I also showed you how to use my script to install Librewolf and the GPG key. And of course, I showed you both their websites. And I showed you the differences that are between Librewolf and Firefox. And of course, Librewolf is a hardened fork of Firefox. Now, I love them both. I think they're both great web browsers. But I daily drive Firefox, and I'm going to tell you why. One of the main concerns about a web browser is you want it to have security and to have updates. And the thing about Librewolf, well, let's go back to Firefox. So Firefox updated with some new things in it and security patches on October 29th. And the same day that it was released by Firefox, Arch Linux updated it. Librewolf still hasn't been updated. So the thing about Librewolf is I think it's a great program, a great web browser. It comes hardened and debloated. They take the Firefox web browser, they debloat it, and they turn on all the hardened settings, and I think it's fantastic. But it takes longer to get it updated. And the reason why is, number one, I think there's only 1 or 2 people that are the developers or the maintainers of Librewolf, whereas Firefox is owned by Mozilla, and there's a lot of people working on it, a lot of developers. But I think that Librewolf only has 1 or 2 people working on it, and it's not their full-time job. It's just something they're doing on the side. And once they update it, so that takes a couple of days for them to update it. Once they update it, then if you're using Arch Linux, we have to wait for the maintainer of Librewolf and the AUR, the Arch user repository, to update it. So it could take, I don't know, anywhere from a few days to a week before Librewolf is released and updated in Arch Linux, so we can use Librewolf with the updated security patches. And for that reason, I don't use it. But other than that, I think Librewolf is a great fork of Firefox. I think it's fantastic, and I'm not being critical of the developers who work on Librewolf or the maintainer of Librewolf and the Arch user repository. I think it's fantastic and I love it. But the reason why I'm using Firefox as my daily driver is because it gets updated faster with security patches. And of course, you can harden. It's not overly difficult to harden Firefox the way Librewolf is hardened, except you have to know where to go in the settings to do it. And I showed you how to do that as well. I hope you learned something from this video. And if you did, please like it and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. Until next time. I am the Linux Mensch.